Welcome to the Explainer. So glad you're here. If you've ever stared at a solar panel datasheet and just felt totally overwhelmed by that alphabet soup of numbers, VOC, ISC, VMP, you are absolutely not alone. It's kind of like a complete mystery, right? Most folks just look for the biggest wattage sticker they can possibly find, grab the panel, and cross their fingers. But today, we're going to look right past that big wattage trap. We're going to break down exactly what these specs actually mean and why understanding them is literally the key to building a safe, efficient, and super reliable solar setup. Here's our roadmap for today. First, the big wattage mistake. Second, voltage, specifically Voc and Vmp. Third, current, breaking down ISC and IMP. Fourth, we'll look at wiring, series versus parallel. And finally, real-world safety risks. All right, let's dive right into this. Section 1. The big wattage mistake. So, here's the hook. Is wattage really all that matters? This is hands down the most common trap beginners fall into when they're shopping for panels. I mean, the wattage is printed in huge letters right there on the box. It is so easy to just assume that, hey, a 550-watt panel is going to work exactly the same as any other 550-watt panel, right? You just match that big number, plug it in, and boom, perfect system. Well, actually, no, not quite. Because here's the thing, wattage alone definitely does not tell the whole story. Imagine you've got two 550-watt panels. Panel A might be engineered for high voltage and low current. Meanwhile, panel B is designed for low voltage and high current. Two completely different sets of internal specs, but they both hit that exact same 550-watt output. So why does this actually matter to you? Well, depending on your specific charge controller, panel A might work beautifully and be perfectly safe. But panel B, it could literally fry your equipment the second the sun comes up. Yikes. Which brings us to Section 2, voltage, specifically Voc and Vamp. To really grasp why that whole equipment frying nightmare happens, it helps to think of voltage as electrical pressure. Let's kick things off with VOC, which stands for open circuit voltage. Picture a garden hose turned on full blast, but the nozzle at the end is completely shut. You've got maximum pressure built up in there, but zero water is actually flowing out. That is your VOC. It's the absolute highest voltage a panel can produce when nothing is connected to it, meaning zero current is flowing. This number is absolutely crucial because it dictates what charge controller you can safely use. It's that worst case, maximum pressure your gear is ever going to see, and it's the strict baseline engineers use to design a safe system. Now, on the flip side of that, we have VMP, or maximum power voltage. Let's go back to our hose analogy for a second. If you finally open that nozzle and let the water flow out at its absolute best, most efficient rate, the pressure inside the hose drops just a little bit. That working pressure, that's your VMP. It's the actual operating voltage where the panel delivers its rated power under normal, sunny conditions. So, just to recap, Voc is your worst-case maximum pressure used for safety, and VMP is your everyday working pressure used for performance. All right, moving on to Section 3, current. Let's talk about ISC and IMP. So we've got a handle on the pressure. Now let's talk about the flow. Current is the actual volume of electricity moving through your setup. It's what dictates the physical stuff, like exactly how thick your wires need to be, or how hefty your fuses should be. And just like we had a worst-case number for voltage, we've got one for current too. Enter ISC, or short circuit current. This happens when the positive and negative terminals are connected directly to each other, which, by the way, you should absolutely never do on purpose. If that happens, voltage drops to basically zero, and the current spikes to its absolute maximum possible flow. I really want to emphasize this. ISC is not your normal everyday operating current. It's a hardcore safety number. Installers use it to properly size up cables, fuses, and combiner boxes so they literally don't melt down if something goes wrong. Next up is IMP, the maximum power current. Think of this as your normal, happy operating flow. It's the perfect partner to Vamp. When your solar panel is just humming along on a nice sunny day operating at its maximum power voltage, it is simultaneously pushing out its maximum power current. These two numbers are the everyday, working heroes that actually team up to produce the rated power of your panel. Okay, let's take all these abstract concepts and anchor them back to something tangible. Let's look at that 550-watt number again and see how a manufacturer actually comes up with it. And this brilliantly illustrates just how simple the math really is. Power simply equals voltage times current. But remember, we're talking about those normal operating numbers we just covered. So if a panel has a VMP of 41 volts and an IMP of 13.41 amps, you just multiply them. 41 times 13.41 gives you right around 550 watts. Ta-da! We just de-jargonized the math. That big wattage sticker isn't magic. It's quite literally just the panel's maximum working pressure multiplied by its maximum working flow. Let's put this into practice. Section 4. Wiring. Series versus parallel. Having all these numbers on a piece of paper is great, but how you physically string your panels together fundamentally changes how they act in the real world. When you wire panels in series, the voltages add up, but the current stays exactly the same. So check this out. If you take two panels that each have an open circuit voltage, or VOC, of 49 volts, and you wire them in series, you instantly hit 98 volts. If your charge controller has a strict 100-volt limit, you are immediately pushing the absolute limits of your hardware. On the other hand, if you wire them in parallel, the current adds together, but the voltage stays flat. So if you need more flow but you can't risk a higher voltage, parallel wiring is your best friend. But wait, here is a totally surprising fact that catches out so many DIY builders. The numbers on the sticker, they're calculated in a lab at a balmy 25 degrees Celsius. But what about the real world? Well, as temperatures drop in the cold, Voc actually goes up. So that 98-volt series array we just mentioned, on a freezing, bright winter morning, that voltage is going to spike well over 100 volts. If you didn't leave a decent safety margin between your panel's Voc and your controller's limit, man, you're going to destroy that controller before you've even had your morning coffee. Hot weather actually does the opposite. It lowers Voc. But cold weather is the silent killer of solar equipment. Which leads us to our final part, Section 5, Real-World Safety Risks. Let's raise the stakes here for a second, because ignoring these specs isn't just about losing some efficiency, it's about keeping your actual property safe. First off, like we just saw, blowing past your MPPT voltage limits because you forgot about Voc in cold weather will instantly fry your charge controllers or inverters. No going back from that. Second, if you undersize your cables or your fuses below the panel's true ISC, those wires can literally melt and start an electrical fire. Third, remember that solar panels produce power whenever the sun hits them. Even if they're completely disconnected, they can generate incredibly dangerous DC arcs if you accidentally cause a short circuit. Seriously, never intentionally short the terminals. And finally, getting your MC4 connector polarity backward will wreck your gear. Always double check your polarity with a multimeter.
So, I want to leave you with a question, and it's a really important one. Are your protection devices actually rated for your panel's true ISC and VOC? Before you strip a single wire or click together a single connector on your system, you have got to know these numbers. Wattage might get all the glory on the box, but voltage and current do the heavy lifting, and they absolutely determine whether your system survives or goes up in smoke. I highly recommend you grab the datasheet for your specific panels today and double-check those limits. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning, and please stay safe out there.